Yeah. Geno Smith. Ryan Tannehill. Anyway, Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. Thank God this is getting edited. Anyway. Hey, welcome back, Wedge Rumbers, for week 4 fantasy football. You ready, buddy?
Does it sound like I'm ready?
Well, you're going to push through, aren't you? You're going to be okay. You got to stop gobbling on cock on the night before.
Oh, damn. Oh, we going like that already? Damn. I mean, all right, we're throwing bows. All right. Let me enjoy my little throat coat tea of mine.
Well, come on. We just had a little something about the throat. You know, you're taking it deep, I guess.
I accidentally swallowed. Do you know, random fact of the day for you ladies out there and gentlemen, the dentist will know if you got done doing the oral deeds.
Well, let's move right into all right, right into news and notes. All right, scary move for Tua the other night on Thursday night. Out cold, throwing up gang signs and shit.
I was ready to say, man, it brought him back to his high school days before he's like, do I go to college and become a football player, or do I run these streets?
That was scary. So a lot of things are going on with Miami's organization or the independent neurologist that cleared him to play. I didn't even know that he was hurt last week. I actually saw a video where he was stumbling after getting hit.
Dude, he looked like he had cerebral palsy.
He could walk straight. I couldn't believe it. And they cleared him.
Kind of like that time we had to pick you up drunk. It's actually what it reminded me of me and Leppy having to pick you up. I'm okay.
But anyway, so I hope everyone down in Florida and the Carolinas are doing okay with Hurricane Ian that's going through. I did happen to see something that was really funny. Just kind of like popped in my
Viral video shows sharks swimming in flooded streets of Fort Myers amid Hurricane Ian. Twitter.
The white trash Ninja Turtles. Love it. My brother lived in Tampa, so now I have to tell him. I was first worried about alligators walking through, just swimming down the street. Now there's frickin' sharks. Do they have frickin' laser beams?
Frickin' laser beams.
Any frickin' laser beams. There we go. That's how I'm going to talk the rest of the show. I'm going to have to talk like Dr. Evil so my voice can get through.
All right, well, let's head into our next First, must start. Quarterback, boom.
Bam. I am going with Sir Russell of Wilson. The Raiders might be desperate for a win, but Wilson and the Broncos have got to feel close to getting in rhythm. This feels like a matchup where Wilson can be useful for fantasy, albeit without the high upside so many other quarterbacks have. I am ready to trust Russell Wilson over Carson Wentz and Ryan Tannehill if he's available, if you have him in your lineup. But Wilson is still battling through some consistency issues. Last week seemed to be affected by the 49ers pass rush, especially on third downs. But I counted 3 off-target throws that should have gone for decent gains. Wilson was 8th in off-target throws last year, and it's 13th so far. However, there were also 2 big-time plays with great timing, one to Jared Jeudy and one to Sutton, that set up the game-winning touchdown. And other classic runs improvised and converted third downs into deep ball and a deep ball to Kendall Hinton. But the Broncos, there's still issues with the offensive line playing as it should. And there continues to be a lot of frustrating play calls involving receivers running too far downfield, given the pass protection and Wilson's sensitivity to pressure. He's very sensitive. Wilson and Coach Nathaniel Hackett each admitted that there are some timing and rhythm issues that need to be resolved. And every quarterback that's faced has faced the Raiders have gotten at least 20 fantasy points, including Ryan Tannehill last week. All three passers have thrown for more than 250 yards on Vegas.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's looked like a little, I don't know, was it last year flukish? Because he was kind of like, after the thumb injury, he was kind of like, not playing so well. And then he goes to Broncos, and it's kind of like, well, has his skill set degraded to this point? Is that what's going on?
I mean, how long has he been in the NFL? 13 years now?
Been there for a while. But
Yeah.
since 2011, 2012? It's been probably about 11, 12 years, something like that.
Right. So, I mean, how long do rushing quarterbacks last in the NFL? Not that long.
Well, I don't know. Tom Brady's 45.
He's not a rushing quarterback.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Good point. Yeah, they do take their toll. He's pushed it up there in age. Thank you for not taking him, Howie, and trading away 2 first-round draft picks for him.
True.
He's Broncos country. Problem.
I'm using our good friend here. 2012. So 10 years.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to we got Aaron Rodgers from My Must Start. Aaron Rodgers is not having the greatest of year so far, though he's starting to hook up with Romeo Doubs. Alan Lazard's back. Aaron Jones is a target monster coming out of the backfield. A.J. Dillon between the tackles. Last week, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think he's going to continue to progress a little better. As Aaron Rodgers gets better throughout the season, his stats are going to, as well, get better. So I definitely feel that he will be a great start this week. Going against 26th, New England gets New England's 26th against quarterback production. So I definitely feel, especially with no Mac Jones this week, Brian Hoyer starting, it's going to be a Green Bay game. Brian Hoyer's going to keep the low points, so Aaron Rodgers isn't going to feel rushed to keep scoring as fast as he can,
or he's going to want to score more and just ram it down the freaking throat.
Very possible. It's very possible. All right, let's move on to your running back, buddy.
All right, I am going with Khalil Herbert, with the potential of being the lead running back for the Bears against a poor run defense that's coming off a Monday night loss. Herbert should shine. A game like what he did in week 3 might be too much to expect, but a top 10 finish among running backs is a safe bet. Herbert looked outstanding last week, rushing against the Texans, who entered week 3 ranked 23rd in rush yards allowed per game, 4.86 if you care that much. Giants enter week 4 ranked 31st in rush yards allowed per game at 5.57 yards. Giants also ranked bottom 10 in third down rush conversions allowed, yards before and after contact per rush allowed. Also ranked second in missed tackles with 20 and dead last in defending rush EPA. Bears lead the universe in a rush play rate at 65.4. And ahead of David Montgomery in literally every rushing metric, including yards per carry at 7.27 yards before contact per attempt. He's got it. I mean, he's going to be top 13, he could hit top 10 if he plays it right, but I'm just saying he's going to be at least top 20.
Absolutely. Khalil Mack.
Ooh.
Khalil Herbert. Let's not start that this week. Getting all tongue-tied. But, every time Dave Montgomery goes down, this guy always steps up. And the thing is, just like with most running backs that are the backups, they come in, they usually outproduce the starter because there really is no carry share. They're getting the full workload. So if they're third down back and they got to step up, they got to get the first and second down work, their production explodes. Unlike, say, the starter who has to share third down duties and things of that sort. So, duty. But speaking of that, we got the same situation going on over in Detroit with Jamal Williams. Last week, 20 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 targets, 2 touchdowns, or 2 receptions for another 20 yards. He's going to get the full. He's going to get everything. You're going to have, well, not everything. You're going to see Craig Reynolds also get some work in there. But this is the red zone back. This is the guy that's the goal line back. He's going to be that guy that's going to be getting all that work. So, like I said in the waiver wire thing that I did on Tuesday, you want to have him on your roster. I said since week 1, you want to have him roster because Swift always gets hurt. So hopefully you picked him up. Hopefully you rostered him. And hopefully you start him this week because he's going to be a solid start, definite option that you want to have.
I mean, I'm weary with Detroit. You know that. I mean, as much as I love them, they're the little engine that can't. So I'm always a little wary on Detroit, though they're actually posed to win. Gabe, I think they're giving Seattle 2 points, 2.5 points for that game.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't have the lines in front of me.
Yeah, no, I saw that when I was making my bets, and I was like, wait a minute. How bad do you have to be for the Lions to actually be?
Lions are good this year. Their defense is a little so-so, but this offense is moving. St. Brown, that's another thing to also look at. St. Brown might be out this week, so that's going to only give more carries to Jamal Williams or even receptions coming out of the backfield. TJ Hawkinson could be a nice sleeper tight end pick because I know he's been a hot pile of garbage most of the year so far. So he could possibly break out with a nice touchdown or 2. Ooh, little bonus info for you guys.
There you go.
All right.
All right. So I am going my wide receiver, Sir Tyler Lockett, with at least 16 PPR points in each of his past 2 games. PP. Excuse me. And with 11 targets in each of his past 2 games, Tyler Lockett seems much more like a crucial component to the Seattle offense than realized. Good passing by Geno Smith has obviously helped, and Smith should be in line for a sneaky good game. I might not expect 11 targets, but I expect a good game. He's a number 2 receiver in PPR, ahead of Terry McLaurin, Mike Williams, and DK Metcalf, which I'm shocked about. Lockett has worked as Seattle's number 1 receiver in over the past 2 weeks, earning a massive 31% of the target share and turning 22 targets into an 1,883 stat line, which you know numbers better than me, so sounds good to me.
He's getting the targets. He's getting the very, very large share of the targets. Geno Smith is focusing on him in the mid, not exactly deep routes. He's like in that mid area where he just drops it right over the linebacker. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, man.
He finds that nice, easy pocket.
That's literally in my notes right here because I said in that stat line, that's an 81% catch rate. He is getting shorter passes thrown to him, but more of them. And Lions rank in the bottom 10 in catch rate allowed at 66%. And half of the 6 completions of 20+ yards are allowed have gone to wideouts who lined up in the slot position.
Yeah, he lines up in that slot position a lot. So, all right, moving on to CeeDee Lamb for my must-start wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb coming off of a 12-target, 8 reception, 87 yards, 1 touchdown week last week, going against 30th ranked for wide receiver production in Washington. Now, it looks like Cooper Rush is figuring out this offense. They're going to keep moving. He focuses in on CeeDee Lamb heavily with 12 targets last week, 11 targets, and then another 11 targets the week prior. The guy is the focal point of the passing game. Michael Gallup, I believe, is coming back this week, which will only get him – everyone's going to think, oh, he's going to get lesser targets. I think he's going to get more valuable targets as far as not being forced. They're going to have to look at Michael Gallup on the other side now to make sure that they compensate. We have to make sure the safety goes over on that side to kind of watch out for him because he is a very good wide receiver. So the quality of targets is going to go up along with it. So yes, target share might come down, but quality is going up. So that could come a long way with that.
So my question is, I heard the rumor of Dak might be coming back this week.
I didn't hear anything about that. And if Jerry Jones, well, as well as Cooper Rush has been playing, he probably feels the urgency. I got to get back, or I might not have a job next year in Dallas.
He's not going to have a job in Dallas next year. We already know this. We already know this.
I don't know. They have so much money invested in him and Zeke. Like, it's...
Yeah,
ouch.
but look, we got a Tony Romo situation happening already.
We got a Drew Bledsoe situation.
All right, so I went with Sir Adam Thielen, however you say his name. After closing week 2 strong, Thielen landed a 21.6 target share and cashed in for an 8-61 stat line against Detroit. Saints have allowed an impressive 61.5 catch rate to opposing receivers, especially since they've seen the 6th most targets through 3 weeks. But they're allowing 14.3 yards per catch on an egregious yards received at 6.25, and that's 3rd worst in the NFL.
Hey, someone's got to catch the damn balls in Minnesota. It ain't Justin Jefferson.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, yes, it's killing me. I can't believe it. All right, well, moving on to...
That's just stupid.
It is just stupid. Moving on to my flex option, I went with Damian Pierce. Damian Pierce is starting to get the bulk of the carries in the backfield, going against the 29th ranked LA Chargers poor run defense. So I just feel that he is going to feeling. I'm having a feeling.
Are
that
you
he's
hooked
going
on a
to-
feeling?
Hooked
On a feeling.
So I think Davey Pierce is going to have. Last week, I would consider him had a breakout week. I think this is going to be his week where he just has a monster game. And that's just that. It's the Chargers all the way right now are not going to be able to stop him. Houston looks like a solid team. Lovie Smith has these guys clicking on all cylinders. Their offense looks manageable, where they're able to run the ball. They can pass the ball a little bit. They're not dynamic in any way. They're just good. Their defense looks rock solid. It's going to keep Herbert at bay and all those wide receivers.
Herbert.
So, yeah, Damian Pierce this week is a solid flex start. Yeah, he's a solid running back too, if anything. But he is definitely a solid flex start this week. And I recommend if he's on your bench, you're kind of iffy on him, you definitely start him this week. It's a fantastic matchup one. All right, so with your sleeper and redeemer this week, you went with
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that is correct. So it will take some guts to start Ryan Tannehill against the Colts defense that just did a nice job against Patrick Mahomes. But he's got the track record against them and against their style of defense to come through. Tannehill has posted at least 20 fantasy points in 2 of the 3 starts this season, which is pretty impressive considering the Titans' offensive line, receiving core, and Tannehill's minimal rushing. Colts typically play a lot of cover 3 defense under Gus Bradley, but did not do that last week against the Chiefs. Last week, I expect they'll revert. This week, I expect they'll revert back to playing more cover 3, which they did against the Titans last year with a different play caller. But Tannehill has been very good against cover 3 this season, 10.5 yards per attempt at a 69.2% completion rate. Also, Tannehill's crushed the Colts for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in each of the 2 meetings in 2021. He actually has at least 20 fantasy points in 3 straight games against Indianapolis.
Anyway, yeah, with Ryan Tannehill, definitely think that going against an Indianapolis defense should have a decent day. Indianapolis has been kind of like hit or miss with their defense this year.
Stats don't lie, unfortunately. But is he? We all know Tannehill's not the greatest, but some people have an Achilles heel, like Nick Foles to Tom Brady.
Yeah, and if with Derrick Henry getting back into, seems like they figured it out how to get Henry back involved. that's what the offense runs through. Like I said last week with Derrick Henry, you have to run the ball. Tennessee has to run the ball. Derrick Henry has to be the backbone of this offense. And with that comes the play actions with Tannehill, who also has a little bit of wiggle, and he can get outside the pocket. And yeah,
he doesn't have legs; he's got stumps.
He's getting old.
Okay, so he's an old horse. Today I am a horse.
I went with Geno Smith. Like you said earlier, Geno Smith could be a sneaky good start this week, and I believe he is a sneaky good start going against the Detroit defense with 30th ranked against quarterback production. Last week with 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. It seems like he's kind of figuring it out. He's always been a decent quarterback, nothing to write home about, but with this matchup this week, I definitely think that Geno Smith, it's going to be a little bit of a shootout, I say it's going to be kind of a high-scoring game. I think everyone's going to get involved. Tyler Lockett's going to have a game. Metcalf's going to have a game. Those tight ends, the threesome of tight ends that they have, that always seems to be getting targets left and right. Hopefully, Rashard Penny gets back on track, but I think it's a Geno Smith show this week for them.
I mean, he has a chance to shine here this week.
Moving on to your running back.
You're like, move it along.
Move it along.
All right. So I got Tony Pollard. He actually impressed me last week. Commanders allowing 5.27 yards per carry and 2 yards before contact to running quarterbacks, both in the bottom 6 of the league. Pollard ranks 6th in yards per rush at 5.57 and 5th in yards before contact per rush at 2 yards. He also happens to rank 11th in yards allowed, 11th in yards after contact per rush at 3.5 yards. So also Pollard overtook Elliott in run efficiency metrics last week when he finally notched double-digit carries. Cowboys have the ball. If the Cowboys run the ball at the 9th heaviest rate in Cooper Rush's 2 starts, both were wins.
I said start Pollard last week, and he succeeded. I'm going to still say absolutely you want to start Pollard. Zeke still has a decent bulk of that backfield carry, but Pollard definitely comes in. He's got that ability to get the targets out of the backfield. Cooper Rush checks down to him, and they definitely feel comfortable to have him in the red zone and take goal line carries. So I definitely say, yeah, continue to start Tony Pollard. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, he impressed me last week. I was a little iffy on him. I figured, with Ezekiel Elliott crying a little bit, I figured they would give him the ball more. But you know what? If something's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So sorry, Zeke, you got to earn your keep.
Honestly, with Zeke, I think him just getting the amount of carries that he has, he stays efficient. The backfield stays efficient that way. So split the carries up however they have to. Tony Pollard's the more dynamic back coming out of the backfield as far as catching the ball. So definitely he's going to see a little bit more points because it's just the targets alone. So he's definitely someone that you want to – he's a flex option actually every week now, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right, well, I went with Reese Hall this week as my sleeper. He's been kind of steadily getting better week after week. His carries are going up, not by much, but 6, 7, 8, from week 1 to 3. His yards are going up. The thing for him is he catches the ball out of the backfield a lot. 11 targets last week. Although Joe Flacco is not going to be the quarterback this week, we have a Zach Wilson coming back from injury. And that might change the whole dynamic of the offense. I don't know. They still have Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Conklin, the tight end. So not sure exactly how Wilson's going to affect this offense. I think they might run the ball a little bit more. It's not going to be a luxury as far as Flacco throwing the ball 50 times down the field and hitting the very talented wide receiver crew. They're going to try to probably grind it out, give the rookie a little breathing room. as in the rookie. I'm sorry. I mean Wilson. Some breathing room. So he's
So my question is are the Jets getting better or is Pittsburgh getting worse?
See, I think this could be the week that we might see Kenny Pickett.
Oh man. Oh no.
So I think that, as weird as it sounds, I think it sucks for Trubisky. But if they go down to the Jets,
Oh, he's out. He's
now
out.
they might be pulling in someone that's going to be actually get the ball downfield, isn't going to play safe, which Trubisky seems to be playing safe, hitting those high percentage, throws to kind of like not be bad, but
Right.
at the same time mediocre. So bring in the rookie. The rookie's going to try to force it downfield. He's going to try to do that kind of thing. And yeah, so this could be the week you see Kenny Pickett. I don't know. Maybe next week if Trubisky, if they lose to the Jets, then I definitely see
because
down on Trubisky.
Because they're only giving the Jets one. I believe they're only giving the Jets one this week. I almost took it as my bet. But that's
you also have to remember they have very talented secondary. Sauce Gardner is fantastic.
So you're saying they got to get on the sauce?
Get on the sauce. All right. Well, you're a wide receiver, sleeper redeemer.
Oh, come on. I've been dying to do this. Hadouken! I'm going with Brandon Ayuk.
Hadouken! You hit that ball with so much finesse.
and I'm going to do it one more time for the kids in China. Hadouken! Go with Brandon Ayuk. All right, here. Ayuk should see elevated targets in a matchup that isn't as tough as you might think. I trust him in the flex over certain uncertain receivers like Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, or DJ Moore. The Rams, you want to hear a cool fact, cool little stat for you there. Would you believe no defense has allowed a higher catch rate to wide receivers at 74 points, so pretty much 75% than the Rams?
Yeah, that is really surprising. That's because you have Ramsey out there, and
yeah, I saw that stat. I'm like, what? Really? Or that only one defense has allowed more rushing yards to wideouts than the Rams. This comes with the territory when a defense gets thrown on as much as the Rams do. Quarterbacks have thrown 74 times against them in 3 weeks. Now, for my man, Hadouken! On the season, Ayuk has seen 24.1% target share. But with Jimmy Garoppolo, that number has ballooned to 30%. Ayuk has caught an inefficient 46.7% of his targets, but he has scored and has seen. I can't remember what this acronym stands for, but anywho, he's seen about 12.73 yards for these score yards. It's a matter of time before these two connect on the reg, as the kids would say. 49ers have been pretty close to even have. Let me try that again. 3, 2, 1. 49ers have been pretty close to even in pass run ratio with Garoppolo at 51.4% pass. But they're not going to be able to run the ball like they have in the past against the Rams, given the state of their offensive line. Expect Garoppolo to get the ball out quickly.
Yeah, and as weird as it says, you have Debo. But if you take the fact of what happened last year on the second half of the season when Ayuk got out of the doghouse, he saw a very, very large target share, bigger than Debo's, and very, very productive. He turned into a good wide receiver 2 for the rest of the season. So I expect that kind of production with Jimmy G now as the starting quarterback. Hadouken! All right, I went with a little redeemer with Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis coming off of a 3-reception, 37-yard week against Miami, going against Baltimore this week. and they're 32nd against wide receiver production. This is the week where I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Josh Allen is going to make sure that he targets Gabe Davis early and often. Stephon Diggs is going to take off the top. Gabe Davis is going to work in the middle, and you're going to see maybe, I think a touchdown would definitely be something that you'd see from Gabe Davis. He's a definite red zone target for them. So I definitely would say if you're kind of wavering on it, you're going to start him this week.
And totally redeem yourself.
I have Gabe Davis, so I'm glad to hear you say this. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. You know what's funny? Speaking of my fantasy leagues, I'm in 3 leagues. Only one of them is with money. The other 2, I am 3-0. The one that's money's on the line, I'm 1-3 or 4. Whatever the hell. We were in week 4, so I'm 1-2. Like, are you fucking serious? Like the one that involves money, I'm choking. The other 2, I'm like da 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 da.
That's how it works. So your bust of the week, buddy, you went with...
I went with Devin Singletary.
I'm about to bust.
No one should expect Singletary to suddenly morph into a pass-catching phenom for the Bills, including this week against a muted Ravens. Wait, yeah, they're playing Baltimore. Wow, you said Detroit for Gabe. And I'm like, wait a minute, you made me question myself. Way to go. Let me try that all over. No one should expect Singletary to suddenly morph into a pass-catching phenom for the Bills, including this week against the muted Ravens pass rush. Expect Josh Allen to throw further downfield, making Singletary a
hold
touchdown.
on, wait, you're starting all over?
Yeah.
You're starting over? Okay, let me... Hold on.
Are you making
all
notes?
Right. 3, 2, 1.
All right, so this week...
I'm about to bust.
With Devin Singletary. No one should expect Singletary to suddenly morph into a pass-catching phenom for the Bills, including this week against a muted Ravens pass rush. They expect Josh Allen to throw further downfield, making Singletary a touchdown-needy running back. Singletary had 10 or few touches in weeks 1 and 2, and may only see more than that in week 4. As a way to slow down the pace of the offense after playing 92 snaps in the heat of last week. Note the use of the word meh. The Bills still throw the ball on 66.2% of their snaps, 6th highest in the league. Ravens, their defense breaks down. Their defensive breakdowns tend to happen further downfield against receivers and tight ends. As far as defending running backs through the air, Baltimore is a little better than the league average in a catch rate and yards per catch, allowing running backs and top 10 in receptions to runners.
No, he's definitely touchdown dependent. That's just how he is.
I need touchdown. Give me touchdown.
All right, I went with this week Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk has been an absolute steal so far this year. And this week might not be the week to do it. I actually took Christian Kirk out of my lineup and I started Brandon Ayuk.
Hadouken!
I definitely would not recommend it. Slay's going to lock him down, or Bradbury, one or the other. You pick your poison. One of these guys are going to lock down Christian Kirk this week, and it's not going to be pretty. He's going to have a very, very low average for what he is. What you're used to.
Do you honestly think that this is an actual Eagles team? This is probably the closest thing to a real team they've played so far this season. Do you honestly think that this is a legit team?
With Jacksonville, I think Peters has done a fantastic job as far as how he's utilizing Robinson and Etienne in the backfield, along with his wide receivers. He's able to turn Trevor Lawrence, who was starting to look like a bust, into a legitimate quarterback, and even in top 10 conversation for fantasy football quarterbacks. Kirk could, I think he's going to bust this week, but let's not discount the fact that Jacksonville is actually looking like a good team.
Okay, I'm curious because they got. We'll talk about it later on, but I don't know. I want to be like, yeah, Eagles, but they played two horrible teams, and the Vikings lost to the Eagles. Let's get that out there. The Vikings lost to the Eagles. The Eagles didn't win that game. The Vikings lost.
Yeah, that's a good point. They did lose. They didn't. Yeah, the Eagles did not win that game as far as how they played. But yeah, and it's a primetime game, so Kirk Cousins never plays the best. And I believe. All right, buddy. So you got a bet of the week this week, and your bet.
I am going with Jacksonville. They're giving Jacksonville 6.5 points. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think.
Hold on. Such a dick. All right, you ready now?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'll bring it in.
Oh, really?
All right, so you're better the week, buddy.
This motherfucker.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, so you're better the week, buddy. You got.
I went with Jacksonville versus Philadelphia. Someone doesn't like the fact that I use airport call signs because other people do. So they're giving Jacksonville 6.5 points. I don't think this is going to be a one-score game. I think this is going to be a field goal game. It's going to come down to 3 points. So regardless of whether Eagles win or lose, it's going to be down by 3 points in my prediction. Excuse me for 1 second.
Okay.
It's just as we just said about with Christian Kirk. Are the Eagles that good, or is it just luck? Is it are they just not playing strong teams? Which they had believed the Eagles have the 7th easiest schedule in the NFL. Just put that out there.
Okay. I think this is going to be a good game. I do agree that it could come down to a field goal. So, yeah, definitely. I'd definitely be taking a 6.5. Take Jags on that.
And I've told you before. In the past, anything close to 7 points, I'm going to jump for it.
Absolutely. Yes, you have. All right. I went with New York Jets getting 3 points against Pitt. I think, like I said earlier, I think this could be the game where Trubisky is done, and because Pittsburgh loses to the Jets, and it's just not going to – the pitchforks are going to be at the gate, and they're going to be say, get Trubisky out of there. We want to see Kenny. We want Kenny.
They've been saying that. When I went to Pittsburgh and saw them play Detroit in preseason, they were already saying it. It was literally like a divided stadium of do they want Trubisky or Pickett? And everyone's like, put the kid in. Let's see what the kid's got to do. And I hate to say it, I think either way, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Whoever you play, because they both played the same caliber, I feel. Though, yes, Pickett's better on the third down. That's obvious. I've seen that. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But this is, like, again, are the Jets getting good, getting better, or is Pittsburgh just shit in the bed? And I mean, that's a risky. I feel this is a risky bet. I would not box this or parlay this at all. I would never. I would. This is one of those. Just put $10 on it, and all right, I'm out $10. In my opinion.
No. Yeah, I'm going to stay Jets getting 3. I'm going to take that bet any day of the week. So, hey, guys, so we're going to say that if you happen to have any questions, you've stayed to the end, which I highly doubt you did. So, anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment. Check out our Discord. Check out our link tree. That gives you all the information you absolutely need about our socials, and along with Facebook, Twitter, Discord. So definitely like and subscribe. And hey, buddy, it was a good time this week.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next Tuesday for another waiver wire show, and we're gonna have to tape early next week because I'm going on vacation.
Oh, you lucky bastard. Yeah. Also, check out this week, newest episode of Barbie and the Bash Brigade. Came out a little late. Work and life and how it goes. We discussed weddings. I know Monahan had a beautiful wedding. I was there. I synced it. And check out this next episode. I feel it's funny. It's funny and you'll like it. It's out on YouTube and Spotify now. So check it out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Peace.
Thank you.